Hey y'all, it's March the 14th, 2017, and I'm gearing up for a live stream podcast later on tonight. I'm sitting here and I'm pondering what we might go over during the live stream broadcast. In fact, also, I gotta mention, I'll try to leave warnings so people out there can watch it. It's a very new thing. I'm trying to figure out this website called younow.com. Alright? So you go to younow.com, you look for me. I believe it'll be under Gerard Johnsky. Alright, so anyways, I'm gearing up. I'm thinking about stuff. I'm looking at current events, and I was just reminded right now of something that I wanted to go ahead and reiterate on this channel, as I've done before and on the previous channel, and that's this. Me personally, what I like to do, especially in regards with these children I see out here, I like to encourage them. These children, they don't yet realize they're living within a renaissance. I like to encourage these children to not ever, don't ever seek to be a celebrity at all. Never do that. In fact, what you should do is pity the celebrities. All the celebrities that you see, you should feel bad for them. You should feel like they really messed up in life, and chances are lots of them did. Right? And they like to cover it up and gloss it up with all their money and try and make it seem as though they're living out a success, and they're not. Just not. There's many sad stories that could be told from out of Hollywood and everywhere else. People thinking, oh yeah, it's going to be great to be a celebrity, and it turns out no, it's a terrible idea. A lot of them wish they could go back. Alright, but sometimes you can't go back. Alright, sometimes you just can't go back. Here's one example, and I find that it's a perfect example. Alright, I want to bring up Snoop Dogg, formerly Snoop Lion, formerly Snoop Dogg, formerly Calvin. I want to bring this guy up. Alright, and before I do, I just want to establish that it's well within my knowledge and my grasp that this particular guy could kill me or something, or have me killed or something like that. Of course he even goes around talking about certain things like that. Alright, of course he could. Of course he could. The thing is, I'm not talking bad about Snoop Dogg right now, but it might seem like I am, because here's the thing, I feel very bad. I feel very, very badly for Snoop Dogg. Alright, formerly Snoop Lion. Feel real bad for him. I pity him. So if he's to come and somehow have me murdered, alright, I'm just a little dude on the internet nobody's heard of, well then he can just come do it. Because here's the thing, weapons don't prosper against my words, Snoop Dogg. Weapons will not prosper against my voice and what it is that I'm saying right now. And I feel bad for you. Alright, Snoop Dogg, here's a perfect example, because here's a guy who, as of 2015, his net worth was at $143 million. I mean, that's a lot of money, alright? And this was in 2015. I'm willing to bet that it's even greater today, 2017. Alright, he was worth back then $143 million. Alright, that's the tippy top of success, or at least that's nearing the tippy top of success, especially considering these dang entertainment careers, these celebrities. Alright, that's a lot of money. Meanwhile, what I want to point out to you is that Snoop Dogg is such a slave, be it in Hollywood or whatever you want to call it, the Illuminati, be it in his own mind. Snoop Dogg is such a slave that he can't even have his own opinion. I'm not sure where his opinions come from. Whether it comes from the dumbed down masses, where it comes from some Illuminati puppet master or whatever else, some sort of computer. I don't know where Snoop Dogg's opinions come from, but it's not from inside his own reasonable brain. And a lot of y'all might not even be following where I'm going, but here's the thing. Only a couple years ago, Snoop Dogg, a rapper whose music I had listened to and enjoyed throughout my childhood, this Snoop Dogg, he turned to a different animal. He was called Snoop Lion. I don't know if anybody remembers that, because the thing is, it was very uneventful. It was absolutely like just, it wasn't worth hearing this Snoop Lion music that he was making, some sort of reggae or something like that. Nobody liked it. But the thing is, I got kind of offended. And I believe I made a video about it back when he did it, when he was making all this gun control music under the alias of Snoop Lion during a very peculiar time to be making gun control music. I mean, it was a very precarious time at that particular time, and he was making gun control music, which is funny because he's a rapper who built his entirety of his career on guns, and glorifying guns and gun violence. So a lot of people took this as Snoop turning a new page and finally figuring out to put the gun down, and now he's Snoop Lion. Now he's something different, and he's become an older, more mature person. I saw through that at the time. I saw that it was all just for show. Who was pulling the strings, I couldn't tell you, but someone was, alright? Snoop Dogg, I could tell at that particular point in time that he stood for nothing. See, a slave can't stand for anything. That's the point of it. A slave blows in the wind and does whatever it's told. Alright? Even if he doesn't understand that he's being told that. Because here's the thing. Only a couple more years later, he's back to Snoop Dogg. Why? Snoop Lion was a terrible failure. That's why. Alright, so he's back to Snoop Dogg. He's back to glorifying gun violence in a cartoonish sense, which he knows that little kids are going to grow up watching and absorbing. He's back to doing all that. In fact, now he's shooting a cartoon gun at a Donald Trump clown. How about that for absurdity? It's in a very cartoonish way to a very just honestly like unappealing soundtrack. The track, in my opinion, and it's just my opinion, it's not worth the electricity that it takes in order to put that on someone's speakers. It's not worth that electricity. It's terrible. It's a terrible song. Terrible soundtrack. Not only that, the lyrics could have compensated, but they absolutely did not compensate for the track. It was an all-around terrible piece of garbage that he put out. And now it's in a cartoonish way that he's, for some reason, the solution of his whole music video is to shoot a gun at the head of a clown Donald Trump. And everybody knows it's Donald Trump. Thereby glorifying gun violence once again, fully jumping into 1984, if you will, in which guns are good, but now they're bad, but now they're good again. Says Snoop Dogg / Lion, or whatever he wants to be called. It doesn't matter how many millions of dollars. It doesn't matter how much attention he receives. He seems to always want to be a slave. He will be a slave till the very bitter end, and I'm sorry about that. But it's like he's making his own choices. You see a free man out here. It's becoming more rare, but a free man can say what his opinions are, and when he has an opinion, he will stand for it. It'll be something that he stands for. Snoop Dogg is not allowed to stand for anything, apparently. Doesn't matter how many millions, he better not say the wrong thing. That's why he's saying whatever it is that he's supposed to say, the politically correct thing, to include a cartoonish assassination of the new president, which would have been an absolute total blasphemy only a year ago on that current president. That would have been a total blasphemy, and Snoop Dogg himself would have come out on it and made some sort of viral rant about it. But no, it's different now. Everything's different now, according to Snoop Dogg or whoever it is who makes his decisions for him. That's the kind of freedom that you could expect to receive once you hit it big and become a celebrity out here and fall into a trap, a disgusting trap. Now, if you want attention, you can go to the internet and you can meet all sort of people and stuff and have all sort of attention and stuff like. Should nobody want to be a celebrity nowadays? You should feel bad for most of these people out here. Alright, but just to finish it up, I actually saw this one interview. It's a pretty interesting interview, and you might want to check it out. It's between Joe Rogan and Arian Foster. I didn't know who this was. Apparently he played football. A lot of y'all out there might know who he is because you like football and everything. Arian Foster himself said if he could have taken it all back, and this is a dude who had a very successful NFL career, he said if he could have taken it all back and done it all over again, you know what he would be? A scientist. Alright, so we need to go a new direction. It's the Renaissance. It's March the 14th, 2017, and hopefully I'll holler at y'all later on a live stream. YouNow.com, Gerard Johnsky.